one of the things he said was that, he's accused of being the snitch, and if he got robbed, wouldn't he have just went to the police and just told on the guys who robbed him?
Charleston White ain't gonna, I don't know, first of all, what you gonna go tell the police? That they robbed you for some dope?
Mm.
See, robbing for drugs is a game where you're playing to where I'm taking your and if we cross paths on the streets, we gonna get down again. So either you're gonna accept it or reject it. But the reason why he didn't tell about it is because he chalked it up as a loss. There wasn't no animosity. People thinking, oh, he mad because he got robbed. I'm not inferring that because we met after that on Boss Talk. So how could there be any animosity? And if there was bad blood between us, the bad blood started after Boss Talk because he had been saying my name for sound bites and light and clout, saying Melvin is the only OG I know that doesn't brag. Asked him. So what changed that other than when he got confronted about talking about guys that he met through me, now you're going to talk about them. And then you think you're going to say F them and F me, but when I said F a shock jock, he walk out. So what's the difference? You said fuck these people, I said fuck you. That don't mean it was no violence. There was no threat there. And what point there, or the part where I said there be no rebuttal, where there wasn't one? Just like we proved that he was a snitch. I didn't know he put out a reward. I'm not even caring if he a snitch. But there's a difference between a snitch and a rat. A rat is when you do the crime and you don't do the time. I've never known nobody to be accepted or listened to or not put in a witness protection program because you didn't play the game fair when you did the crime. There's no excuse about, oh, if you knew this was you. No, when you knew that gun was in there and your little hot ass went and did a petty crime, but now the fire's at your feet to where you could get a life sentence. But now you want to tell on everybody and then come out and brag about you didn't snitch. You're a rat, bro. And if you think that gives you his ceiling, and I'm not saying it, he had a good career if he would have just stayed being a comedian and kept his ass out the way.
Was he trying to be a comedian back then?
No, he wasn't trying to do nothing. But he was, when I met him, it was up under the pretense he just coming to meet me because he say, Melvin, in fact, look at the video. He say, Melvin, I just had to come to meet you because you guys can reach back to the youth. You lived the life, you know the life, and you can change it, which we always talk about anyway, where we talk to youths all around America. We hear him talk about he go here to talk to youths. I work with the mayors all around the world. All around the world, the United States. The Mayor Ginther in Ohio, Mayor Bowles in Washington, D.C., Judge Pratt, New York School of Law, Como that just got New York mayor that got recalled or fired, Colin Kaepernick and they black effects, credible messengers, mixed martial arts, Pancreon with the Army. We do all type of things, restorative justice, unifying the community, justice for murder, killing. We counsel in hip-hop, we advise, we consult in the hip-hop world about the security. We talking backdoor. We got documentary with Freeway Rick, Big T, Ice T, Tone, Fathers of Hip Hop, Chill, Suave Churchill. We got a documentary that we making called The World Epidemic, Senseless Gun Violence. Ice-T is going to be involved. Trey D going to be narrating it. And we got all type of things to where we're doing to bring awareness to the contents, not only on hip-hop, because a lot of people think it's the words and the lyrics that create the environment of the streets, when it's the environment of the streets that dictate the lyrics that are spit out. So that's the reverse of what we're doing and what we're trying to bring about. And once again, this is nothing new. People forget I'm an original member of Grand Jury Records, where we all in the same gang when Boogie Down Production came out with Nothing But Self-Destruction. So this hip-hop game might be new to a lot of them, but I've watched the evolution to where it started off partying in New York, and then you start seeing the actions and the images of MC Hammer, Trey 5-7, Dr. Dre, Young MC, Humpty, DOC, Ice Cube, Yo-Yo, all these factors, Eazy-E, all them I've witnessed, because the West Coast rap game started from drug dealing and hustling. We didn't start from breakdancing and singing and writing raps that spit knowledge like the East Coast. So the West Coast and the East Coast has always have had a different vibe when it comes to that. Also, we hear Charleston White talk about, oh, I'm keeping up the spirit of Dolores Tucker. I've been on a panel with Dolores Tucker. What's in the first gang intervention that ever talked about stopping the violence with Rosie Greer. That's called the long table. Then people get mad when you give the history, because I'm a walking almanac when it comes to this city and the streets and these cultures, and people gonna respect that I'm a survivor. Or if not, I'm gonna earn that respect by however you want to do it, from the lips to the hips. You can take it as a challenge, a threat, or just words. But we built for this. We are 10%ers. Most of you guys out here running your mouths on the internet got more graduation pictures than mug shots. Have no vested interest in the community. You're not looked up to in the community. I'm respected in the community, as it's a lot of us. But blacks abuse this social media like no other race does. And then y'all worried about blacks killing blacks. But y'all didn't say nothing when Black Lives Matter only talked about a black killing a black to the police. Then you wonder why nobody get arrested. Why do you think the black police is or the police laid down? Until all black lives matter, then we just talking trash. And matter of fact, from the 100 days, 100 nights in 2015, I brought awareness to that from reporting about the 100 days, 100 nights, when all that most despicable display of disregard of human life I ever seen in this game of gang banging, not being a gang member, when you're making your faces on the t-shirt, where you the candlestick maker. And when I realized that, hey, all these youths that died, none of them had no insurance. So they started reporting it to the LA Times, where you look at Melvin Farmer on 2016. Look at that LA Times, which is the biggest day to ever write a newspaper when you're in the news entertainment is in business. It's Christmas Day. That's the biggest day for any newspaper, the Washington Post. And you'll see the story of Melvin Farmer redemption that had over 20, 30 million views. The only two that beat me that day was George Michael died from Wham, and Judy Garland's daughter said she was sick and she died a couple days later. So everything I say, it ain't bragging, it ain't facts, it's just a part of history. And people want to try to argue that against the truth. And a black gorilla family told me this, Pa Chu, rest in peace, that grew up with George Jackson. He said, Melvin, once again, the truth never will be able to be held in a conversation to coexist with a lie. So why would they have me or Ayatollah Marvin on these shows with them when they would be exposed about lying? This ain't nothing but lip boxing, tongue wrestling, and verbal gymnastics. And most of the people that you see on these internet, they not consumers, they not buyers, they just looky-loos and want to hear gossip and really waiting to see who get killed next to talk about that. And that's a shame. So I don't really entertain the internet because of the negativity that go on.